If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you look good, clap your hands. For those of you that may or may not know, my name is Nahshon Nicks. I'm a candidate for City Council District 7. It's also known as the Big Business District. From Riverside to River City, we are going to shake things up. The Bible talks about how 2 men went to a town and they said they turned this whole city upside down. Well, with your help, we're going to turn this city right side up. That was your clapping moment. I got a couple points that I want to share with you. I call it the 4 E's, which is the formula for success. The 4 E's, which is the formula for success. You start with environment. Then you go into education. Then you go into economics. And then you get empowerment. Please say it with me. Excel is the movement.
Excel is the movement.
And excellent is the destination.
Excellent is the destination.
Listen to me. This is the only generation of folks who feel like just because they say it, it's supposed to be. This is not the entitlement era. This is the era where we have to earn it. This is the era where we're going to have to work for it. This is the era where we have to get our hands dirty. This is the era of boots on the ground. And I love it, I love it, I love Jack Shelp because they understand it, they get it. Mr. Javon, he gets it. And Miss Michelle, she gets it. And that's why I'm so happy to be a part of this function because I want our population and I want our demographics to get it. When we look at environment, it is impossible to get a stabilized people in a destabilized environment. And when you look at it, people say, well, did you see what they did in Washington Heights a couple of days ago? Well, that doesn't surprise me. Now, it doesn't surprise me that they're fighting each other. What surprises me is that we don't realize that they're living in less than humane conditions. And you're surprised that people, they're acting like animals because they're treated like animals. You talk about why children are acting up in school. Well, once again, they can only produce what you treat them as. You treat them like a human being, they'll act like a human being. They'll be a human being. If you treat them like they're a success story, they'll act like a success story. They will be a success story. Listen to me. I'm one of those young men that could not read in 5th grade. In 5th grade, I could not read. My 5th grade teacher, Miss Tony Penland, Merrill Road Elementary. She pulled me and my mom aside and said, listen, he's not going to make it. I will be doing him a disservice if I promote him. I broke down crying. I said, no, I don't want to fail. I don't want to fail. I can't fail. I don't want to fail. There's got to be another way. What Ms. Penland taught me was that if there is a will, then there is a way. So I gave my 5th grade teacher what she gave me. What you said. When there's a will, there's a way. She said, well, listen, I'll work with you. I'll tutor you every day after school. But the only way that you're going to get promoted is if you earn it. Needless to say, I got out of the 5th grade. I was promoted on time. Went to college. One of my last classes in college at Edward Waters College as senior class president. One of my last courses was student teaching. The department chair chooses what you teach and where you teach it at. The last course for me to get my bachelor's degree in education was 5th grade reading. My testimony is that, listen, you can't prove that you came out of something if you can't help somebody else get out of it. Amen. I want us to empower our youth. We want them to empower through education. We wonder why schools are underfunded. They wouldn't be underfunded if they would stop taking our tax dollars and shipping that money across the river. And we fought for those community reinvestment acts to actually be utilized in the communities that they were destined for, that they were designed for. What do we have to do? We got to make sure that those dollars are being maximized. We're talking about those Everbank dollars. We're talking about those historic Springfield dollars. We're talking about that Jacksonville International Airport dollars. Once again, it doesn't amaze me why our schools are underfunded when you're looking at a $45 million lottery budget. Out of $45 million from the Florida lottery, what they did was $35 million went to post-secondary education. $10 million went to K-12 schools. The most and the bulk of the money went to people who already graduated from high school. So what does that mean? The people that look like us, we missed out on that money. We missed out on that opportunity. So what do? They got it how they live. So what are we going to do? We're going to hold them accountable. Since you got the bulk of the dollars, we're going to need you to reinvest in this community. We're going to hold the FSCJ accountable. We're going to hold the UNF accountable. We're going to put them to work. And what happens is that we've got to leverage our education, leverage our experience, and then we got to tap into economics. My vision for the big business district is for us to open up opportunities. The reason why I call it the big business district is because every major corporation in the city of Jacksonville is downtown. JHA, Jacksonville Housing Authority. JEA, Jacksonville Electric Authority. JTA, Jacksonville Transportation Authority. I sat down with Nat Ford and Lisa Darnell. They said, we can't wait to tell you about our plans for Jacksonville. I said, thank you for this meeting, but I can't wait to tell you about my plans for Jacksonville. This is the River City, and we don't have park and float. They said, what is park and float? I said, you go to San Francisco, you park your car on the side of town you live on, and you float across the river. You go to New York City, you park your car on the side of town that you live on, and then you float into Staten Island. This is the River City where the river runs all through our city, and we ain't got no people fair. I want us to have concessions on the parking lot, open up opportunities for small business owners, and then I want concessions on that boat to where people can shop while they ride to work. I want to stimulate our local economy, and I want JTA to give them a pension in the process. I said, thank you for making time for me. I'm not done yet. This is the only city with an international airport where it doesn't fly anywhere internationally. But listen to me, if they're not willing to work with me when I get in that seat, what I'm going to do is we're going to circumvent them the way they've been circumventing us. Can y'all imagine how many dollars we use to Orlando? All the people going, they got to drive 2 hours to Orlando to go fly to Haiti, South Passe. They got to drive 2 hours to Orlando to fly over to Jamaica, come to my yard. They got to drive 2 hours to go fly direct to Nassau, Bahamas. They got to drive 2 hours to fly direct to Trinidad, Port Springs. All I'm trying to do is get some of that money right back here in Duval. And if they're not willing to work with me with the city, we already got the infrastructure. I just need some black investors to put their money where the mouth is, and we'll fly our own people across the water. I want to open up Jacksport. When I say open up Jacksport, I want to be like Mr. Darren over there with DTE Logistics, black man and natural gas. If they gonna frack, and if they gonna chip, and if they gonna mine, you got to make sure that you spend some money in the black community. I want to open up the port to where we can open up our commerce. There is no commerce if we're not buying and selling and trading. Once again, your product is good right here inside of this location, but I want you to ship your goods throughout the country. I want you to ship your goods throughout overseas. There you go. I want to open up the port for us. Well, listen, then we got to get to empowerment, right? There is no revitalization where there is no reinvestment. Listen, Javon, I got my little props. In the Old Testament, they called this guy named Nehemiah, right? And what Nehemiah did was he rebuilt the walls. See, what happens is that we've been told too long what we can't do. And what we use is black excellence. Excellence is the highest standard possible. So what we do is we got to make sure that we take that black excellence and we hold it to a term which is the highest standard possible. There are no invalids in our communities. There are no invalids in our families. And for those of you that don't know, an invalid is someone who is worthless. Everybody has a job. Everybody's got work to do. What you mean? Listen, if you can talk, you can call. I don't know what I can do. All I got is a wheelchair. Listen, you roll that wheelchair and you say, vote Nicks for Jacks. I ain't that strong. I'm kind of weak. It don't take a whole lot of strength to sign a check. I need you to understand when it comes to social media, we need you to like, we need you to repost, we need you to reshare. Because this is our future. This is our community. People say, why are you doing this? I'm doing this for Nahshon Nicks. Some of y'all don't know Nahshon Nicks, but at the beginning of the year, the first murder, the first homicide, 7-year-old went to SP Livingston. His mama lives in Hollybrook Homes and Apartments. Nahshon Nicks told his second grade teacher, listen, I want to blow some bubbles. I know this because I went to his funeral. He told his second grade teacher, I want to blow some bubbles. And she said, boss man, because that was his nickname, she said, are you sure you want some bubbles? You like to play football. He said, yeah, I like to play football, but it's something special about the bubbles. When those bubbles go up in the air, it's like you can see all the colors in the sky. It's like you can almost see the rainbow. Well, Nahshon didn't get a chance to blow those bubbles because he was in a destabilized community. And it is impossible to get a stabilized people in a destabilized community. We got too much work to do. So this is what Nehemiah did. Javon, if you don't mind, bring me my props, and I'm closing with this. And y'all say it with me? Excel is the movement.
Excel is the movement.
And excellent is the destination.
Excellent is the destination.
So what Nehemiah did was, he had a sword in one hand, and he had a hammer in the other. And he said, we're going to rebuild our community. We're going to rebuild our neighborhoods. We're going to rebuild our families. Is there anybody in here with me?
Yes.
You can get it too.
You